All right. Hello. Welcome back to the Pro-Pilot Playbook Podcast. Hello, aviators. This is the podcast that brings you insights to your aviation career, the hacks, the cheats, the tricks, the tips, the way to get you through your career faster and cheaper. And we're doing another listener question today. And this one is probably going to resonate with a lot of people. This is more of somebody who's just starting out. Probably not even driven to the airport yet. This is probably, you saw from the title of the podcast, you probably clicked on it because this might appeal to you or fit your situation. And it's a simple, sweet question by Jose. And Jose says here, I'm leaning across to read it. He says, I would love to do this kind of job, but at age 40, 0 hours and broke, how was one supposed to do it?
The question, and you know what? Right now we got the coronavirus pandemic going on. A lot of people are unemployed; they're losing their jobs, and they're looking at aviation. They're saying, "Hey, maybe this is something I always wanted to do. Maybe this is a blessing. I got laid off, and can I switch careers? How much money does it take? I'm already laid off, so I don't have any money." And is this something I can do at any age? And the answer is yes, right?
Right. Yeah. The first part of it, just to break this question up, as short and sweet as it is, he does say I'm age 40. And we've determined, we've done another podcast on the age thing already. 40 years old is not too late. There is the mandatory retirement of 65 at the airlines. But you can continue flying past that in other realms of the industry.
Oh, yeah.
But still,
absolutely,
that's still enough time to have a good career.
Absolutely, yeah. Sean and I mean, we've flown with tons of we call them second career guys, but there's tons of them. I mean, I just, when I completed that type rating a couple months ago, my sim partner, who was excellent, is a second career. We were similar age, but he was a second career. I think he was in the insurance business, and then did well, and then decided to transition into aviation. And he was a pleasure to fly with. So lots of times I flew with an engineer. One time we were having a really crappy flight. Actually, I think we had a brake fire, or smoked a brake. And he was telling me, Mike, a bad day of flying is better than a good day being an engineer.
Right.
That's what he was telling me. So I'm sure you've had quite a bit of second career guys you flow with.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's a common theme in our industry. People get halfway through life and realize, this life's too short to sit around being unhappy, doing something you don't like.
Right.
Actually, it's like that quote by Jim Carrey. It's one of my favorite quotes, and it's from Jim Carrey, kind of a unsuspected. Anyway, he says you can fail at something you hate in life, a job you don't like, beneath your potential. You can fail at that. So why not go for something that you'll love? Why not go ahead and try?
Right.
But
why not?
Yeah.
That's a great quote.
So the other part of this thing is, the broke issue. There's plenty of financing out there for this type of thing.
Absolutely.
Actually, Jose, I would say, to break it into a little more, instead of just throwing random thoughts at this, to make it a little more step-by-steppy for you here, I would say number one is you need a plan, right? You need to know your numbers. You need to know your numbers. How much is it going to cost? How long is it going to take? What do I need to survive? And I say that because the way to do this thing is as fast as possible. You're not going to be able to do this thing effectively or cheaply, going to the airport once a week. You're going to need to make a plan to leave your job and go to training full time.
Yeah, because when you just go once a week, you spend half the next lesson relearning what you forgot from the week before. So if you do it quickly, you save money, even though it may seem like you're spending more money up front, and you get better retention. I mean, just the whole thing is better. That's why, like on this jet program that I just did a couple of months ago that we talked about on a recent podcast, I mean, it's a fire hose, 8 hours a day, every single day. You eat, breathe, and sleep airplanes. That's it. And you learn it really well that way. And that method has been being used in aviation, constantly. And you can do the same thing with your primary training.
Yeah. Yeah. We go into that in great detail in the actual program we sell. By the way, we're just coming out of Cyber Monday here, and we had the price marked down to the lowest it's ever been.
Right.
And it was a great response. So if you're one of the folks that purchased the program that are watching this right now, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Although
I think
we may have had it.
Sales.
Yeah, we did. And which tells we probably had it too cheap. Not that it's about making money. It's about helping people. Yeah. Actually, I just remember it's still sitting at that price. It was never changed. So
that's your department, man. You gotta get on top of that. So you're telling me it's Thursday and Black Friday still going on?
Yeah, or Cyber Monday, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. So if you're watching this right now, it's possible it's still like that because I haven't got in there and changed it yet. So go get it fast. Go quick. Yeah. Hurry.
Yeah, hurry.
But anyway, got off on a side tack there. Anyway, yes. So I would say you figure out your numbers, okay? And then I don't know if you're married or not, if you got a spouse that can help out with income, but I say, you're going to have to leave your job to do this. And Mike just mentioned the whole training thing. There is magic that happens when you're flying every day, several hours a day. You're able to retain stuff and get stuff done. It's a huge deal of our program, and we go into it in great detail in it of how to do that. I would say it's probably going to require a lifestyle change of possibly traveling to. I would seek out a big school, somebody that's into the accelerated training thing where you'll be there every day. The other advantage, there's a couple other advantages of these big schools, and just drop a couple names. You got ATP out there, American Flyers. These schools have financing options built in, to the front end of the curriculum.
Yes. And they're designed for what we're talking about. Just go in there and go all in and get this stuff done as fast as possible.
Right. And they're
typically in Florida or Arizona.
Yeah. They're in nice areas of the country. And then afterwards, after you get all your rating, you'll go to work for them as a CFI teaching their students. So immediately, you can start getting, not immediately, but you'll start getting income before you're done and building time. And they're also plugged in. The other advantage of some of these big schools is they're plugged into all the regional airlines, because they feed the airlines pilots. So as soon as you get your 1,500 hours, boom, they're already helping you get your first job at a regional airline. So
some of them even have
go ahead.
Transition courses that prep you for the jet training at the airlines.
Specifically for that airline. Well, GoJet wants this, and this. So they have Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that's the basic gist of it. I mean, you just have to make a decision, make a plan. And I would start, if you haven't done so yet, I would start going over to your local airport. Just go over there one day and take an introductory flight, take a discovery flight. And that'll really light some fires under you, I think.
If there's one thing I can say on this topic, 100%, and I think this works in all aspects of life. And if you study any kind of career counseling or motivation or success books, you'll hear the same quote over and over again, different ways. And I've said it before, but action trumps knowledge every time. Action is important. And you need to realize that not doing something is doing something. You're waking up every day, if you're unemployed, like some kind of accident, and you need to figure out what you're doing and focus, even if you don't have any money. So I had one of my early mentors in this business I used to fly King Air with. He was telling me he had graduated from school and just didn't really know what to do with himself. And he was living at home with his mom, and his mom told him one day, she goes, "I don't care what you do, but you need to do something. She's like, if you want to be a fireman, you go to a fire station. If you want to be a doctor, go to a hospital. If you want to be a pilot, go to an airport. And but you need to get out of this house. And and that's at that moment, he had never really thought about it. He's like, being a pilot sounds pretty cool. So he went to his local airport, started nosing around, meeting people. If you're unemployed, and I did part of this, if there's a small municipal airport by your house, which most cities have one, start hanging out there. Guys love to hang out, talk about airplanes, introduce yourself, see if there's any, entry-level jobs available there. There's groundskeepers. That was one of the first ones that I interviewed for. There's, people working the desk and that type of thing. People that fuel planes, obviously, those airplane fuelers, ramp guys, all that kind of stuff. If you can get yourself in the business, any fraction of the business, you're going to learn a lot about planes. You're going to meet tons of networking opportunities, meeting other pilots, meeting different operators, seeing how they do things. And people like to hire people they know. You're going to learn techniques. You may even meet somebody that may let you use their plane to lower the cost of your flight training. So even if you have no money, that's a huge component. Find the financing, which can be found.
It's out there.
But it's also,
I just did a quick Google search, and there was almost a dozen results that do financing for flight training just on Google. And like I said, a lot of the big schools, it's already programmed in to help people,
Now, if you're a second career guy and you got a little bit of money, maybe maybe you're not laid off. Maybe you're just tired of your job and you're an executive or whatever. You can buy an airplane, and some of these planes are not that expensive. These training airplanes, for $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, you could buy one. You could finance it even, and then you could bring in a CFI, and then you only have to pay him, $20 or $30 an hour, 40 maybe, and he can train you in your own plane, and then you save a ton of money. And then when you're done with the training, you just sell your airplane. So there is a ton of ways to do this, and we outline all this stuff in the course. But the biggest thing is you need to do something, really. If this is what you've been dreaming of doing, now is, like we've said before, is one of the best times ever, because you got this low in the market because of the coronavirus, and it's going to snap back.
Absolutely. Yes, it is.
Yeah,
you were in the prime like no other time in the history of man. This pilot shortage is going to come back way worse than ever.
Yes.
Yeah. So, Jose, this is it's all about taking action.
It's already happening. I think you would agree, Sean. I'm not hearing of anyone else getting laid off anymore. That's all over. The corona, and
exactly.
Now you're starting. Yeah, trips are picking up.
I'm seeing. I just saw over Thanksgiving weekend, Delta had to cancel. They had a rough weekend. Delta Airlines, largest airline in the world. It was.
You may have heard of them.
Yeah, it was a news headline. They canceled, I believe it was 1 in 5 flights. 500 flights got canceled due to lack of crew. And I just saw there's 3 freight companies hiring, 3 big name freight companies hiring. So it's starting to shift around. And then we had, nobody training because of the corona. And then we had flight schools going out of business because of that. And like I said, my prediction is we're going to be right back in it. It's going to be worse than ever.
Yeah, I hear charters through the roof right now. I talk to our guys that sell charters and stuff, and they're like, because none of these rich people want to ride on the airlines anymore. And the flights are down so much, the convenience of it, all that stuff. So, these guys are busy. Yeah.
Right.
And
Mike, real quick.
There's a light. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just thought of something else you were talking about. The guy, his mom's telling him go to the airport, go to the whatever. To that point, I was trying to remember. I had this little thing. So I think you mentioned something about if you hang out in a barbershop long enough, you get a haircut. But
yeah, that's right.
That is so true.
You
miss 100% of the shots you don't take. If you have if there's a particular car you really want, you're sitting around just watching YouTube videos of it, why don't you go to the dealership, take a test drive in that car? I've even heard people like wanting something like that. They go take a test drive once a month, and then that 1 month you're in there to take a test drive, one of the salesmen, the dealers are like, hey, we're running this promotion this month. You might qualify for this thing, even though your credit's 400. You go out, it's about taking action, and things fall in your lap. You get a lot more luckier.
Yes, that's right. I remember years ago, I had a real good friend, a car salesman, and I wanted this specific type of car, and he was going to get it. We had to order it in like a month or something. And then I was talking to him on the phone. I'm like, oh yeah, I went to the dealer and I was test driving this or whatever. He's like, stop going to dealerships or you're going to buy something. That's what they're there for.
Right. Exactly. They're very good at what they do.
That's right. But yeah, it rubs off. It cannot hurt. If you got nothing to do today, going out to your airport cannot hurt. And they're kind of intimidating places to approach, some of these small airports. But what you got to remember is, everybody there loves airplanes and they're there for the same reason. And once they find out that you're there, I think you'll find that it's a cool place to hang out.
Right.
Yeah.
So in summary, I guess we've been rambling on here. Jose, here you go. You need a plan. You're not too old. Financing money, that's somewhat the easy part. Okay?
Yeah.
You need to take action. It's going to be a lifestyle change. You need to quit whatever job you're not liking. Go in this thing full throttle, head first, fully engaged. And you will be at the airlines in less than 2 years. It's 100% possible. 100% possible. You can change your life.
Yes. Great.
And
hang in there.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you.
Keep the questions
your status.
coming.
Yeah, keep us informed.
Jose. Yeah.
If you have a question for us here at the podcast, you can email us at podcast@propilotplaybook.com. Real quick, Mike, before we go,
yes.
I wanted to. I'm a little bit of a quote guy. I love that kind of stuff in my office. I got crap everywhere. And this is one I had on my computer monitor for years back when I was going through flight training. I mean, not that it has anything necessarily to do with flight training exactly, but just in general, I love this quote. It's from Mark Twain. And the quote is, 20 years from now, you will be way more disappointed by the things you didn't do than the things you did do. And that's so true. Yep.
Yeah. Visit a nursing home and see the regret of some people on what they did or what they didn't do. Yeah. It's for real, so life is short. And if this is what you want to do, you need to take action. And that's what we're all about here. And that's why we designed the program that we designed. And that's why we have this podcast. So if there's anything we can do to help, let us know.
All right. I got to change in prices before it blows up.
Yeah, hurry up.
All right. Thanks for tuning in, folks. We appreciate it. We'll see you next week.
Thanks. Bye-bye.